Okay, so here we are, another short update. It's in the afternoon. I'm gonna go take a break, eat some lunch. But I got the front end framed up how I want it. It's not perfect by any means. And the ridge pole will be lengthened. That's a 12-foot 2x4. I actually needed about 13 and a half, 14 foot. I haven't made my mind up how far I want the overhang to be yet, but that's gonna happen. And I'm putting on the metal siding. I've got both sides in the back hung. And what I'm gonna do here is, this is a little longer than I was expecting that I was going to make it, but I'm not changing that up now. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bend this panel over this panel here to join it together, and I'm going to do the same over here. And then what I'll do on the front here is, when I put the front piece on, I'll have it extend over here on the left and on the right. I'll have it come to, flush with the door area on each side. But I'll overlap it on the sides again on the front end so that it's completely covered. We're going to seal all the holes, and then we're going to paint this to match the roofs on all the other buildings in our cabin. I'm going to have some windows and some air vents on the front and the back so that they have natural light, and I'm hoping to be done shortly. So anyhow, okay, I'll update it later. So here's what I've gotten to so far. Again, not as far as I'd like, but I'm having to change all the dimensions, angles of cuts, because I'm not really going on the plans that I had, and because I'm using different sized pieces of 2x4 wood, the 2x4s you get from the store and 2x4s that are cut, that were taken off the old barn. And just an update on the old barn real quick, I guess. Got a lot of the center area cut out, pulled out. I've got a little bit more to do, and then of course I can do a bonfire on that, what that's left over. But I got the ridge pole in. It's not the most pretty job, because my angles are a little bit off, I guess. I've had to do a couple extra things. These end pieces I've just put on there so I'm gonna hang some solar lights for anything that comes through. And I'm not sure yet, but I may put some kind of camera system inside here just to make sure I know of anything that kind of creeps in the night. So I know where they're getting in, how they're getting in, and how to best protect our chickens and ducks and the goose. And we walk over, there's our garden. My wife says it's jamming, so anyhow, pumpkins. We got a bunch of pumpkins coming up. I can't remember all she said that she had in here. Potatoes, pumpkins, strawberries, squash, tomatoes, which are popping up. The pumpkins are just going crazy. They've kind of taken over, as you can tell. And there's one that will hopefully ripen up real quick. There's one that's pretty ripe. I'm going to give it a little longer. The chickens, we've still got all 16. Got one rooster in the bunch. All the ducks and the goose, they're all happy and content. Anyhow, I guess the quickest update, and I just saw this. That'll be a fun one to pull out of there, that pumpkin there. I don't know if you can see it right there. Yeah, right in there. So anyhow, great garden. It's really coming up good. I'm going to cut that tree down again. I'll be trimming that one up. I'm going to cut that tree down and the one behind it down, these two here. And I'm going to trim this tree up so I don't have any predators dropping in from above. But as it's steamy hot here, by lunchtime, I'm done with the build for the day. I think that's why it's taken so long, is it's so hot, and my working all week 8 to 5 just makes it difficult. Update on the pond. It's not any worse, but then again, it's not quite any better. We've treated a couple things in it. We put a couple treatments in it. So one of these days it'll clear up. We'll have a nice pond. We're working on it though. But for anybody who's thinking that the runoff from the chickens and the ducks is the cause of that, their coop is way up here. The pond is all the way over here. So we've got quite a bit of ground to travel. And right now, they're way over there by the cabin. So they are not the cause of the algae buildup in the pond. That's natural algae in there that's growing. Anyhow, just a quick update. Hope everybody's having a great weekend, and we'll see you on the next video.